All right.
I'll stand up.
Welcome to Spawn Point Podcast 16.
Is it 16 or 15?
Ah, Luke has hosted us. Thank you for the host, Luke.
No worries.
It's 16.
Yeah, it's 16, isn't it?
It is.
I don't. Okay. No, I was just checking.
It's 16. It's 16. I checked this time. Like, last time I was like, oh, I don't know, and you guys called me out on it, and then I checked, and now you're like,
I would never call you out.
I don't remember this harassment of you, Kamal. I would not condone such a thing.
Infinity and beyond.
I would never question you, Kamal. I tell you, I'm offended that you think that.
These are lies.
You're like our Einstein.
These are lies.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But you're alright.
They're trying to butter me up with their blasphemy.
Sure.
Okay, welcome. We're doing the general thing this week, and at the end we're gonna have an announcement of some changes that are happening to the podcast format. Like the time, which is slightly different this week, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
We are an hour late. Actually, not exactly an hour. Like
no, we're not
58 minutes late because we decided to go an hour late.
We're not an hour late. We're just an hour different because we plan to be like this.
Question.
Oh.
What's wrong?
We decided on the changes and we didn't change anything.
What?
The time needs to be changed.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't done that yet. I know.
I shall get on that.
Well.
Anyway, right. I'm gonna start playing.
You start.
I really want to start looking for some new games, though. Anyway, wait. Let me switch on some in-game music, some in-game sound effects. There's a little robot there. A little bit of robot.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, carry on. Right. So we're gonna do the usual thing. Game news. Our favorite topics.
Yeah, so we could start, but we could talk about how there's been a possible leak for the new Mass Effect game.
Ooh,
which is
leaks. Ooh, pretty.
It's got some pretty cool stuff.
That's Mass Effect Andromeda, right? Yes.
Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. Yes.
Names.
So it's got some stuff in. And it's it's got Krogans in it. It's got jetpacks in it, which is pretty sweet.
Krogans
it's got music.
Krogans are like the big turtles.
That's the big scary reptile-y attacky ones.
Hunchbacky.
Let's see. Turtle Man.
Warfare race that nuked their own planet.
Right.
Yeah, that one.
So is that surprising that they're going to be in a different galaxy?
Well, not considering how most of the species from the first one are going to be moving over. It's not just humans that are moving. It's Sari, Turians, Turians.
I see.
So everyone just found out the whole Reaper thing, and they're like, you know what? We're just gonna leave. And then.
But Shepard sorted it out, right? He walked into a coloured door, and it fixed everything.
Yeah, he threw himself into the shiny red/blue/green light, whichever one you chose.
Green.
Yeah, I chose green. Mainly because they told me that. Mainly because they didn't tell you about that choice, and I was like, screw you! I make my own choices.
Yeah.
And I like green.
Did they give us Sorry.
If you click the link, there's a video that shows off gameplay and effects and stuff, and it's pretty neat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can show this.
I watched through it and I saw the male human. I thought, I wonder if the generic Shepard is the new generic guy, but they changed it.
Take this with extreme grains of salt, by the way, viewers. Because this is a leak of legit content.
Yeah, this is a leak, so it's not.
Yeah, everything is so up for change.
Yeah. I was confused about one thing that I will point out once the video's played through. That was a bit weird.
I mean, you can talk about it. I've not got the audio, and I feel like it's mainly a visual experience right now.
Yeah, it's mainly shows you what it's going to look like and stuff, but then there's when the Krogan has the weird gassy grenade thing out, that was I didn't really know what that was supposed to be.
It looks a lot like Mass Effect.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just going with Mass Effect, but better now.
think there could be a new version of the genophage that the Krogan are like, we're going to release this on people and kill everyone.
I mean, I thought it was a space eggplant, but
That would be pretty cool. Krogan's trying to get revenge.
but then I feel like if they did do that, they wouldn't carry it around in weird looking fruit pods.
Why
But,
not?
It's just,
You know what
just
nobody
me, but I
checks?
feel like what?
Fruit.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
have you ever been to Australia? Have you ever been to Australia? They check for fruit at the airport all the time.
I mean, like the Krogans as well, they could have just found some plant. It was like, this plant kills people, then...
Personally, I'd say the Krogans might be a bit wary of all this genetic viruses, and they might not want to carry it around on their belts.
I don't know.
Just
they're
saying.
Krogans. I don't think weary is...
They'd be
in the
Krogans, and in
dictionary.
this situation, they'd be evil. So like that means they have to be dumb, and they have to be dumb.
Yeah. And also there's the potential that they'd probably die or something. They were just like, fuck humans! Fuck
I mean, if it
sorry.
only affects humans, then they wouldn't have to worry about carrying it around.
What if it doesn't, though?
Oh, wait, that's true. Krogans do have a genetic
I mean, this-
immunity to most diseases. That's why the Slytherins have to actually create the genophage against them.
This is all based off Luke's theory,
It's just-
though. Like,
it's just
this isn't
small.
anything.
Luke's theory is on anything. Luke, you're nothing. Luke,
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack.
It's
I
just
mean,
one of those,
that's not
it's
what
just
I meant,
One of
for
those
sure.
crazy conspiracy theorists in the corner.
I will get my fucking whiteboard, Josh! We will have a throwdown, and you tell me why I'm wrong!
Luke's gonna turn up
You
next time
talk
with a
Kamal.
nightmare.
All I'm saying is we're having an argument about something we don't even know is confirmed or
It
not.
was a
Or is it
being
conversation, sir.
That's true.
It was a conversation.
No, it was an attack.
But
Attack
yeah,
is what it
no,
was.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm kidding. Okay, so that's pretty sweet, I guess. I don't know what to think about Mass Effect Andromeda, like, until they show it me. Like, I know they're gonna kind of have like the whole. It's gonna feel like Mass Effect, which is great, and people want more of that. Like, it's really gonna fall on the story for me. Unlike if.
Well, yeah, Mass
Yeah.
Effect are all about the story, which is
Right,
why
so-
the ending of 3 was such a disappointment.
So
Like,
like, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, we are definitely gonna have to
their,
wait and see.
their idea for the main character in this one is confusing, I guess, because like he's probably gonna get wrapped up in some big, huge thing, but at the same time he's just some explorer. He's not like a soldier. He's not anyone who's got any real power. He's just some guy.
He's just some dude with a ship who's
He's a
come
video
to
game
find some
character.
things.
Though. He's as powerful as you want him to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get that, but it's like it's quite different from Commander Shepard, a guy who already had authority, and has just thrust more authority on him all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and now we're going to make you a Spectre, Mass Effect 2, and now you're going to be in charge of Cerberus's investigation of the Collectors, Mass Effect 3. You're in charge of everyone!
Well, you
Just-
bring a good point there, though. Like, that gives them room for growth even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'd be interested to see what they come
because
from.
it's very unlikely that this is going to be a single, like, contained story. It's going to be, like, an entire new, like, trilogy, at least. You watch.
Mm.
Anyway,
Oh, definitely.
I just hope they just don't do more Reapers.
can I talk about VR? Again.
Yes.
Feel free to talk about
Can I
VR. Yes,
just, like-
yes, do this.
Okay, so you guys, like, I always do the VR topics. You guys know I'm interested, right? This past
Yeah.
week has been, like, torture for me. Because all of the VR reviews are coming out, and they're so good! And everything looks so amazing! And I was like, all of the grains of salt that I had, like, placed on my little table of, like, VR could be bad, have been, like, blown away, and I'm like, why do I get the money? How do I do this? Like, that's what it's become.
Yeah.
So, I am here. Hey, Lewis. That took ages in my head to process. Anyway.
Hello.
What do you
Yeah,
guys think of the
so, like,
Catman?
I'm actually gonna show, the HTC Vive, which is the one that's, like, really kind of got me, like, just... I watched a PewDiePie video that Ben
Ew,
recommended
why?
to me, where he plays on the HTC Vive, he plays a game called, God damn it, I forgot the name. The title was something like, it's something that said, I don't know, Ben will tell me in chat. Ben, tell me in chat. I'm not gonna come up with a fake title for it.
It sounded really weird from what you were talking about.
It was amazing. Like, like his video was really good. Like it was really funny. It was really well edited, which is something like because I have to give him credit. Like this is a new frontier for like Let's Players because they have to show their body, they have to show the VR world, they have to like re-render the videos out in like 2D because like they're seeing these double like images that are being sent to their eyes. It's a lot more work, you know, than a Let's Play is. Like it's a lot of actual work, and he did it really well. And the video itself was just like, it kind of showed how good the Vive is. So just to like reiterate, the differences between the Vive and the Oculus is the Vive has these little things they call lighthouses that you put around your room, and they let it pick up your body, kind of like think Kinect but much better.
That's cool.
And they let you walk around in this kind of small 3D space. And then they play with the fact that they have control of your senses to make it feel like you're just walking around a space, like a huge space, because they just like loop you in circles and stuff, but they make you feel like you're going around different areas, which is crazy. God, I saw that and it worked so well, and then I saw this video that they released that I'm gonna try and get on screen right now because it translates it super well, and it's being received so well, and obviously it still has the issue that it's super expensive, the issue that it takes super expensive hardware to run it, the issue that it's still lacking proper games, and most of the games it has are still tech demos. You know?
But if it wasn't that expensive and all that, it wouldn't be able to be such a technical masterpiece sort of thing. Like, it wouldn't be able to like put all this stuff and show its brilliance. If it was like affordable for everyone, it would just be like, eh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this on screen. It's got quite a bit of audio to it, and I don't know. It's like 4 minutes long, so I don't know. I guess I'll play it with the audio. I'll just put it at a decent volume.
I have the Surgeon Simulator one on, I guess, but it has like the Team Fortress to Heavy.
Oh, is it that's the special one? The special mission?
I think so. And he opens the fridge door and there's a heart and like there's a stomach or something, and he leans down and he picks up a sandwich.
No, I think that's in the proper game because I'm Surgeon Simulator and I think you can do that. And the one I've got as well.
So in this in the video I'm showing on the screen right now, they've gotten a bunch of like different groups of people. Like they've gotten a family, some friends, whatever, and they've sat them in this room that they've made, like this green screen cube of a room, and they give like one person the VR headset, and then they've got these cameras set up in this program that shows like it replaces the green screen walls with what they're seeing, so that everyone that's not in the VR world can look at the screen and see what they feel like they're in. And then it translates super impressively. The other thing, TB released his video, like kind of reviewing it, and he was talking about like the Vive comes with these two little hand things. I don't know if you guys have seen them.
Oh, the little yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so they're mapped into your virtual world, right? And TB was saying that it's so well done that he can like go up to his desk and pick them off his desk with this thing like over his face. And like it's like 1-to-1 accuracy. He was like, I could juggle with these. Like I could juggle in the VR space, like on that representation. That's how accurate it is. I don't know, it's blowing my mind, man.
Well, that's what you want, yeah.
I'm so hyped for it.
It needs to be like pinpoint precision.
Freaking out over that way.
Yeah, I've been going like I want it so bad all week. Sorry, yeah.
No, the other way.
No, I had a link the other day. I don't know if I ended up just throwing it in the dump or not, but it was basically like whenever you think VR, you think like different interactions with games and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure there's a program that you can download where you can use VR to look at your desktop, and it's just like a stretch in front of you, and it can curve.
Yeah, I think I read that.
And then you can change the background. It looked really cool, but I don't know if I end up linking it.
Yeah, I saw that actually. It turns like your monitor, like you gotta pick the inch and whatever, and it just gives you this virtual like massive like screen, like bent screen in front of you. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I just see like a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential.
Yeah, definitely. It's not gonna be. It doesn't look like it's gonna be one of those things that's got massive hype and it just ends up sort of tanking when it starts.
The only real like trouble I see is how they're gonna make it mainstream. because it's just so high tech that it's not going to be cheap anytime soon. You know.
Yeah, because it's so high end, it's gonna be it's pretty expensive to get. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm excited. And I think it's really important for them to keep the momentum up.
Yeah, they can't just let it tail off.
Yeah, exactly right. Because for a long time, these things are going to be out of the purchasable range for a regular consumer, so they have to keep companies interested, which means they're going to be losing money on them for a while. But yeah.
That being said, they'd make surely they'd make a fair bit of money now, but then it'd taper off.
Yeah, they'll get it straight away with all.
They're selling below cost to build.
Yeah.
They are losing money on every unit they sell.
Okay. Right.
It's very similar to how consoles used to be. The 360 and the PS3 released, and they were selling and they were losing money.
Yeah, they sold at a loss, didn't they?
Yeah. The PS4 and the Xbox One were actually the first consoles in a long time to sell higher than cost, like from day one, making profit from day one. So
rather than just relying on the numbers to make it up.
Yeah.
As it goes.
Yeah, usually like it's called a loss leader strategy, and basically the plan is to set up a platform and then make money on the games and make money on the stuff on the platform. So yeah, that video just finished playing, so that was a bit long, but now you can all see my stupid levels of hype about VR.
Yeah. Another thing I'd mention about VR, like obviously people thought it was just no one was gonna really go for it, but apparently Vive had so many orders for it, they're already experiencing shortages.
Oh yeah.
Because so many people wanted it. So obviously it just shows like it is actually like carrying out with its whole. People actually are going to want to do this, so they're going to want to play it, and it's super popular, which is good because we want new things to happen, rather than every time an innovation happens, people always assume it's just going to tank because it's happened before.
Yeah.
But the fact that this one looks like it might actually be able to carry it off it's a good thing. Good thing, yes. We're happy about this.
Yeah. The future is now.
Right.
The future.
I also read an interesting thing which said that Spectator mode, the VR Spectator mode is coming to Dota 2 as well.
Oh yeah, that looks so cool.
Which looks really cool.
I should put that on the screen too.
What?
Dota, so you know Dota, like that MOBA by Valve.
Just be careful with the volume for the speaker. I mean the video, sorry.
Oh yeah. Let's see if I can mute it. Yep, there we go. I got the mute.
Why is everything so loud?
Anyway,
I open up a game and it blows my ears out.
But yeah, I think the whole VR Spectator mode is going to be really interesting, especially when it comes to like pro league stuff. Because Dota's got a league, I assume, like every other MOBA.
Oh yeah, the biggest one.
But so it's going to like, it gives you a whole new aspect to watching like matches and stuff. Because it's like, you're in there. It's like I would love to watch matches like that.
Microsoft did it really well as well as their AR experience, which is also another interesting thing that's kind of happening in the world right now. The HoloLens, they in one of their ads, and I'm not gonna find it right now, but they were showing how they could augment watching like American football or the Super Bowl. And they were like, you can have like the TVs, like the flat screens on the wall, and to the side, like the players as they come out, a player gets generated next to your screen with all of his like attributes and stats.
Yeah, that's in the stats and like post his season statistics and stuff like that.
Kind of puts it around your screen, and it's like it's just a really cool way to display information. Like it makes data really interesting.
Yeah, it would be like match of the day football analysis while you're watching the game, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be really cool. I would like that. I would love to do that. That would be really awesome.
So, are you meant to be seeing the people run around on the map?
You'll see them moving on the map, in that.
Because there's nothing in that video.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but like it's beyond beta. It's like alpha.
Yeah, it's been announced and they're starting to test it. It's not going to be.
I was really looking forward to like seeing a couple of people run around, at least one.
Don't worry, it's going to happen. That's why they announced this. It's going to be cool.
That is still really cool.
Hey, Zach.
Zach sounds dope. I know it does sound dope, right?
Dope. The future
Everything
is
about
dope.
VR is so dope. We love it. It's
Everything
awesome.
but the price tag.
Yeah, apart from that. Oh, but honest, I'm gonna do this is how we do a segue. Like,
You
to
point
deal
it
with the
out.
price.
Yep.
Yeah, you point it out. That's how you do it. You point it out and you say, like, everyone's talking about prices and stuff. You know what one guy did to avoid the prices?
What?
He charged them to the government.
What?
It was the congressman guy. I'm talking about the congressman, mate. There was like this guy. What was his name? It was Congressman
Duncan Hunter.
Yeah, Duncan Hunter.
This is so impressive.
He spent £920 worth of his federal campaign money on Steam games and Steam purchases. The best part is he tried to blame his kid for it, which is like, okay, even though it all got like put on his like expenses account to say it was to be paid back, and he said he was gonna. But
my kid did it. My kid's really smart with finances. It's not my fault. My kid's
6 months and he just never paid it back. Yeah, right.
That's an achievement right there. Too
So
bad
he
he got
spent
caught,
like
right?
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of deserve to be caught, but okay.
Nah,
In-
too bad.
That gift that they have at the top of the article, he's smoking?
He's vaping.
Vaping.
And-
Oh, yeah, of course he's vaping.
He's like already the worst person ever.
And right into the lady's face next to him, like she's
Yeah, 'cause
starting
he's
to
a
wave
dick.
the smoke away.
Well, you know, the thing about vape, Josh, is that it's water vapor, so it's okay to breathe it into people's faces.
Yeah, so you can be an obnoxious prick with them because it's just water vapor.
This is
But
the kind of guy that I look at and go, yeah, right, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, he'll tell you it's vaping. It's fine. He'll let you know. But yeah, also, he's also trying to have the charges reversed, which is through Steam's refund policy, which is not going to work because he's had some of these up to like 4 months.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's way out of refund window, like way out.
Yeah, so he's not only
I don't know.
he's not only trying to avoid the charges, he's also doing it really stupidly and really badly because it's not going to work.
No.
So I just thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was it's weird. It's weird news.
If you ever get into a position where you can charge the government for your Steam games, refund them within 2 weeks because then it'll actually work.
Do you vape, bro? Do you even vape?
Yeah, right. Ugh, fucking vaping. I don't know why, but whenever I see someone vaping, I just like roll my eyes at them.
Like, it's
just
okay,
doesn't really
okay for me to make fun of vaping. I have a friend who vapes. Okay.
No, for me, it's just the same as like alcohol and drinking.
Look, I have a friend. I mean, I make fun of all of them, so yay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you know.
I don't need a reason.
No,
to
come on,
make
you're
fun
not
of
allowed.
people.
Only Luke can make
I
fun
have
of
a friend who
alcoholics.
drinks, so it's okay.
Yeah,
you
you're allowed.
do.
I have a friend who
All right.
drinks.
I'm drinking right now.
All right. Okay.
Right. Next.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, another
Well,
thing
next.
that's like a change in like gaming that's coming out this week is this PlayStation Remote Play.
Mhm.
Just looks pretty interesting. Like, I don't know if anyone else has read much about this.
I tried it out the other day, and it's cool.
Uh-huh.
Like it pops up on this is when you're like, it's like, what's the alternative?
Xbox has one. Steam
It
has
does?
one.
Yeah, Steam's got the big picture mode thing, right? And
Windows
that
10
does.
has
But
remote play for Xbox built in.
It's kind of like sitting back on like your bed or something and using like the unified remote app, and you see like the cursor rolling around your screen, but it's in front of you.
Yeah.
So you'll be moving, like you'll be navigating through the interface, and you look behind you, and it'll be moving as well.
Yeah.
The only problem I ran into though was that it wasn't a very stable connection for me. So I tried playing not Mass Effect. Damn it. Uncharted 1. And it was fine.
Uh-oh. 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 Wow, we are experiencing
it was
Issues. Wait for it. Okay, try to speak.
what?
We're back.
Don't worry, it's
We
just
have
it's
the
just
little bit of the squiff.
It's just
Skype had a bit of a squiffy there, yeah.
Sorry, Josh, you were at
You were talking about
having
issues. You said you were doing it.
Yes.
You were.
Yes,
Yeah.
my issue was that it worked fine. It was fairly pixelated, like navigating through the menu was fine. But then once you started up the game, the connection wasn't strong enough to hold, so it would just keep disconnecting.
I have
Yeah, so that's not
also
what you
tested
want.
this out because I am a PS4 person too. I had so basically I put it on I gave it the ideal scenario. So I wired up my PS4 to my router. I made sure my PC was wired to my router so that it basically has the fastest comms to each other. And I started it up. I set it to the highest you can stream at is 720p, right? Very similar to Microsoft's Xbox One, which I've also tried before. And I played a bit of Assassin's Creed Syndicate on it, and it was pretty swell. It was it has the same issue I have with the Xbox One, which is going to prevent me from using it. And it's the same reason I don't play my Xbox through my PC. I switch my adapter to my HDMI connection. There is input lag, and there is noticeable input lag. And when you're playing a game like Assassin's Creed, it's okay because like they give me a pretty big window to react to block stuff and stuff like that. So I just have to be a tad quicker than I usually am, right? But I would be terrified playing Smite, like a competitive game.
Yeah, where you need to have like perfect reactions.
Where
Yeah,
like
so-
it was bad enough for me when I played on NA servers, and the input lag on this has to be at least double that. Like maybe more. It's really small, but like for a game where you're controlling a character, like it's enough that you'll miss. You know,
Yeah.
It's enough that you can just feel it, and it gets a bit like I think the best way to experience it and the way I test it is I play Need for Speed. And I get in my little Ferrari and I go as fast as I can down this road that has a couple turns in it, and I see if I can drive like I normally can drive on my PS4, and it's so much harder. And that's how you realize it, because if you stand still, like the input lag is so small that if you stand still and you turn these wheels, like you see them turn as soon as you turn them, but it's not really as soon. It's just about. And it throws everything off. It's really weird.
Just about is not good enough.
But they're getting there. It's progress, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
It's still really cool.
it is definitely really cool. And
I can see where it could come in handy. Like it even if someone's using the TV or something and just go, but I really want to play this game.
yeah, if you're playing something as well like offline single player like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like it works. It works good enough. It works like fine, you know.
That being said, though, you do have quite. Well, compared to me, your internet's a lot better.
Well, you just have to be wired. Like, realistically, if you want to use it and you want it to be a usable experience, you have to have a wired setup. It's not about the speed on your internet, because it runs through the internal internet of your house. So as long as you're both wired to the router, basically it's going to go as fast as it can go, which for a regular Ethernet cable is about 100 Mbps up, 100 Mbps down. But, like, lots of people also don't have wired connections, because wireless is a convenient thing. That's why we use it.
Funnily enough, yeah.
So, you know, it's got its drawbacks, but it'll get better. It'll just keep getting better.
Yeah.
And eventually you will be able to play on your consoles anywhere they are in the house from anywhere else. The future!
That's pretty sweet.
Across the world.
Yeah, you can do that on the PS4 if you have a Vita, actually, you're thinking about it. Like, you can play on your Vita, you can remote play your PS4 from anywhere, as long as your Vita is connected through Wi-Fi and your PS4 is connected to Wi-Fi. But that's when it kind of starts depending on your actual internet, like how good your upload is and stuff, because it's sending it outside of your local network.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we're
There's a lot
talking
more
about
variables
horrendous
in that one.
lag, that's got a horrendous lag.
Yeah.
The future is now. Yes, Sam.
Yeah, the Staffo chat is now. Yeah, that's true.
Right, okay.
Alright.
Onwards.
So now, yeah, let's talk about the next Fallout DLC, which comes out next Tuesday. 'Cause I know none of us have got the Fallout DLC, but we have seen it now because Tom was showing us it.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one before that, the one with the robots in. which looks pretty solid. This one,
I feel like they're just
is-
they just suddenly like started DLCing like out of nowhere. It's just like feels like so much so quickly.
yeah, I think these are the two little ones. Then there's like, going to be a gap until next month, I think, and then it's going to be the big extra like level part with like, a different landscape and like a whole new big sort
Yeah.
of mission thing.
Apparently, the two that have been released, or the second one that's going to be released, they more so change the environment, whereas the third one, it's going to be
A story.
Yeah, it's
a whole new environment where you'll have to travel.
It's like
Sweet.
the what was it, Point Lookout, I think it was for
I
Fallout 3,
don't
where you went to
remember.
the swampy place.
I know we spoke about it a while ago. Wasn't it zombies?
Lewis is hosting us. The forum thread is hosting us.
Hey.
Zombies.
Thank you, forum thread.
I don't know. I think I'm thinking
Your
something.
darlings and
Far
I-
Harbor.
What?
Far Harbor?
Yeah, Far Harbor. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I was comparing it to the one where you got the swampy place in Fallout 3, and in Fallout in New Vegas you got the Divide, I think it is, and this one you go to Far Harbor, where it's all water. It's like a port harbor and stuff, and it's got lots more water-based things.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 3 had the most impressive deals.
But this one, that's not the one we're talking about right now. The one we're talking about right now is you get to capture animals, and I think you get to
You
use them
can
as your-
make machines that print animals.
Yeah, pretty much, essentially.
Ben is
Yeah,
hosting
3D.
us. Thank you, Ben. All the love. All the love. Oh, I feel it.
No, we're all hosting. Good lord.
I mean, I could go ahead.
Sure. Try, why not?
Anyway.
I could go ahead and host, but like there would be no point.
There is always point. There is love.
All right.
So yeah. Fallout.
Yeah, this one you get arenas with animals and
Yeah, this
stuff,
one.
and the
This
last
one
one
made
was
me.
robots.
It made me want Fallout to be a multiplayer game really badly. Because all I could think about was, like, making, like... Because you can make traps as well in the new one that's coming out. And all I could think about was just, like, making, like, these mazes and having your friends, like, try and, like, traverse them and stuff like that. Oh, it would have been so cool. But, you know...
Yeah, that
that's-
would have made it a lot better.
That's not something that's going to happen. Adding multiplayer to a game is, like, nigh on impossible after it's built like this, so...
Yeah,
You
especially a
need-
game like Fallout.
You need people like the Just Cause fan base to come along and say, "Hey,
So, yeah, and just make it themselves.
Or even, like, the
Yeah.
Skyrim community. Skyrim has a multiplayer mod.
it does."
Yeah, it does. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Wait, continue.
just found out something interesting.
Just furiously Googles.
I wonder
this.
what I want to see if people
Oh.
are working on it.
Yeah, the Skyrim thing.
Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah, I know.
Fallout.
I know
No.
this.
It's Fallout 4.
I mean, I wonder because like the people who are doing the Skyrim one are still working on it, and Skyrim's been out for
I
so
wouldn't
long.
be
it's, like,
surprised if they're
difficult.
Okay.
trying, but it'll be a long project, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone said 10 months ago that they tried for Oblivion and Skyrim, but it never worked out well.
It's hard, man.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's a big thing. It's a big thing trying to make a game like that.
And as a
Multiplayer.
modder, your code's always going to be patchwork because you don't have access to the core.
Yeah.
And that means
So it's going to be trial and error at some point.
that means for
to some
something like multiplayer where you need everything to be perfect, it's going to be beyond difficult. Like it's just going to be so hard to make an experience that feels cohesive.
It's going to be a uphill struggle,
Like
to say the least.
The Just Cause people are insane, like just
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah,
So, yeah, I think from what Tom told us about these little ones, I think they said they're worth the money that you pay for. It's worth like a couple hours of fun, and that's
he says if you
about
want,
it.
like I think, and I might be misquoting you, Tom. So tell me if I know you're here. So tell me if you are. I know you're here. I see you.
Not that we're watching or anything, but
I have to, man. My enemies have the names on top of them. I have to creep.
I know, yeah, I know.
But I think Tom said it's like if you want to play more Fallout, it adds stuff. But like if you're like kind of just a little bit interested, just wait for the price to go down because like so it sounds like it's a pretty mediocre DLC. Like it's not bad, it's not great.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
But like what you pay for it, it's acceptable.
There's a side quest in Fallout 4 where you traverse a yeah.
Oh
yes.
yeah, I've done that one. Yeah,
I have done that quest as well, and that's all I could think about. I was like, but we'd be able to do these with friends. Oh my god.
Wait, that wasn't on the ground though. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Hmm?
Is that the one where you get to the top and there are two choices?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, that was in a parking
Yeah,
lot, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
in a big
no,
park.
but-
It was in like a big like multi-story car park thingy.
I don't remember it being underground though.
I'm not sure if it was underground. It was definitely in a car park. It was in a multi-story. I don't know whether you went up. Can't remember if you went up or down or not. I like that. I like the fact there was like no explanation or whatsoever. It was just sort of there.
Yeah.
So it was just like just random.
I kind of went through expecting something and there was nothing.
You got stuff. You got stuff, man. God, just be happy.
Yeah, you got loads. You got loads of stuff.
There's audio logs a bunch about the place.
Ah, is there? Cool.
Hmm?
Luke said there's
Little notes
audio
and stuff
logs.
about-
Yeah. You get a bunch of like logs about it.
There is?
Yeah. Did you miss them?
I
Apparently.
may have, by the sounds of it.
Is it a garage
No.
or something? I just remember the darkness. Fair enough.
I think
Hey,
it was all.
Ash.
It was. It
Hello,
was all, like,
darkness, my old friend.
Damn, Daniel.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew it.
I'm sorry. I just look. I love the remix. I love the remix. It's so good. I kind of want to just play it as the outro music. Okay, that's the outro music now. Done.
Sigh.
Oh, Ash follow. Thank you, Ash.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's been a while
Thank
since
you.
I've heard that. Yeah.
You didn't. You didn't.
Alright. So next, or more.
No.
Are we done?
No, I'll go with that. Okay,
I
so
don't want to just push us.
of other things,
Wait.
wait, what am I waiting for?
I don't know what. I don't know why it's.
I mean,
like
you
that.
said. No, thanks. Okay, so okay.
I'm gonna.
Anyway.
Since I took this off Andy, I'm gonna keep going.
so just to go off the multiplayer aspect, apparently,
I love vines. You followed the right people.
Todd Howard.
What about Todd Howard?
I'm trying to figure out.
You gotta speak, Josh.
So he said, believe it or not, every time we do a game, we design a multiplayer mode just to see what we would do, and then we go, yeah, we shouldn't do that. That's an awesome idea. That is way too distracting from the main thing we want to do, which is single player.
I
We
can
could
respect
we
that.
could see ways it would work, but development-wise, they're very different experiences.
I can respect.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I have experienced games where like the main. Damn, Josh, sub to my YouTube channel. you can link it. We'll give it a look. I can promise a look. But we have links okayed, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Wait, what was I gonna say?
I don't know what you're going to say.
What was I?
You tell us.
I was saying something.
Do you want
You've confused me, Ash. I've lost myself.
Do you want me to keep going?
You're right.
No,
He
no,
lost
Josh
himself.
was saying something.
Yeah, I know, but no.
Oh yeah. I was saying I've seen games where the single player feels like it was let down because the multiplayer was the focus, or the multiplayer feels like it was let down because the single player was the focus.
Oh yeah.
And if like as a developer you feel like by trying to make a single player or multiplayer experience you're gonna make a mediocre one, and the single player or multiplayer like your main focus is gonna take like a hit for it. I agree. Like, it's a smart decision to avoid it, and like I can respect that decision.
Like you don't want like one that feel like they're just tacked on just to tick the box sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all I meant to say.
That was okay.
I've been
So
looking for an English
next thing
talk show for 2 hours. This is as English as it gets. We've got an Australian and a Welshman. That's English.
It's close enough. Close enough.
And we don't know what Kamal is.
I am.
I mean, we do. You just always get it wrong.
That is true. Anyway, carry on.
So the next thing I was going to mention is the fact that the best Halo mode is coming back to Halo 5.
The best.
What are you mad at? What you would?
Okay.
Okay,
Converse,
alright.
gentlemen.
Alright. Infection mode was the best Halo mode.
Shit.
And nothing
Go
you
on.
can say can make me disagree.
Okay, Andy, explain why you like it, and Luke, explain why you don't like it. One at a
I
time.
don't think Luke doesn't like it. I just don't think he thinks it's the best.
Okay.
I don't know, I just remember lots of like Halo 3 playing Infection with my mate, and that was awesome. And honestly, I'm just not very good at multiplayer Halo, and I was fairly good at Infection, so I like that one the best. I'm not gonna lie.
Reasoning is gold. It's valid, bro. To be fair.
Yeah. I don't like playing game modes I'm not as good at. If they're bringing out a game mode I'm better at. But no, I like the fact you could change it so you can be like, you can have like a tanky juggernaut version of the zombie, or you can have like fast invisible ones. It's got a lot of variety to it. So yeah, that's go okay. Look, tell me why you don't like it. Also, Ash says before you said that. Ash says his brother's scared of live streams because he thinks you can see him. We can see you.
I'm just gonna stare at that.
We're always watching.
Yeah, always watching. Always watching. No, sorry, Luke, what were you going to say?
I basically said the Infection rose and died of Halo 3. Like, it was terrible in Halo Reach, it was awful in Halo 4. And I can't wait to see what they do with it now.
Is it, why is that? Was it just the way it was implemented?
Because in Halo 3, you had the ability to create awesome, cool custom maps. And the Forge community just kind of slacked off when it came to Halo Reach. Sorry, and then like when it came to Halo 4, like there was basically no Forge maps. So
yeah,
like I know there's a new Forge mode in Halo 5, so maybe it'll be better. But
it looks
do you
impressive,
think? So you trying to? So you think like?
I see where you're coming from.
A good Infection mode has to be supported by a good Forge mode, otherwise it just doesn't work.
So do you think that all of the original maps they don't work with Infection?
Huh?
So you think like all the original maps that come out with the game don't work with Infection?
No, because they're not designed around Infection. Like, it's not designed with Infection in mind.
I get you.
Okay, I
know where you're coming from. I see.
Like maybe
Yes.
I know it's coming.
I have hope for the new Forge mode though.
Mm.
It looks impressive. Halo 5 sucks. Oh no.
No, yeah, like it was
Halo 5 was solidly okay. Zach Tell says he agrees with you. So
What's up, Lou?
I was just thinking there was a video that came out that I was meant to link to them, but I didn't. It was basically somebody using the new Forge mode to create like they literally made a robot using bits of map and.
I think I've seen this. I think you showed us this, but it wasn't in the.
Yeah. If I knew where that was, I'd link it now. But
yeah,
it's too late. It's too late now. Spoda says Halo 5 mildly.
It's not too late.
If you can add it to the being annoying. Shut up.
Anyway, Halo 5 story is meh.
I liked Halo 5.
Halo 5's multiplayer is solid though.
I liked the Halo 5 campaign mainly only because we were playing it as the thing. As like a group rather than if I played it by myself I probably wouldn't enjoy it.
Fair enough. Right.
I didn't like the story or anything, so
2-3 weeks. Who wants to scroll through?
oh yeah, I'll just scroll 2 or 3 weeks back, so
no.
Luke, you get onto that and scroll that way all the way back and we'll talk about the next topic. Right?
That God love you forever.
I'm just gonna sit here and watch Luke do whatever the hell he's doing right now. So.
Taking us down.
Okay. Anyway, I want to talk about Nintendo and the fact that Nintendo needs to get the hell was the program. This isn't This isn't news as much as it's just Nintendo recently, really. But
I don't even think it's recent. It's just Nintendo.
As a Nintendo child, I can't let go of the hope I have that they will one day listen to fans.
No, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
So, a bunch of like little video game students and like little modders made a 2.5D mod of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda. It's a tribute. I've zoomed in like super close on the screen so people can see it. It's like this little overhead, like the pixels they used basically the exact same style, but they made it 3-dimensional and they added shading. Think of it like Minecraft with shaders. That's the look it's kind of got going for it. It looks cute. It's adorable. It's a demo. It's only like the beginning of the original Legend of Zelda. What happened? No, I just saw what's his name get his messages cut.
I don't know what happened.
Probably the caps.
Oh yeah.
Caps probably didn't help. Yeah.
There should be a warning for that. Anyway, right. So it's a short demo of like the beginning of Legend of Zelda in 2.5D with effects, right? And they weren't never planning on taking it any further. They were just kind of experiencing like what it was like to remake a game like that. They were trying to learn. It was like a learning experience for them, right? Nintendo basically sent their lawyers to them and they were like, take it down or we're going to sue you into the ground. And they took it down because, you know, who wants to fight Nintendo's lawyers? And they said, you know, we learned a bunch and wrote some code that others might learn from too, so they're fine with it. I'm not fine with it. Like, they're fine with it.
No, because this is the same thing that happened to you with your Batman logo.
Yeah, it is actually. And it's just kind of like, I made after Dawn of Justice. I'm gonna self-advertise a little bit and show it off so people know what we're talking about. I made a little poster in my free time that was based on the Batman logo. Surprise, surprise, right? And it got pulled because of it showing the Batman logo. So that's great. And it's just kind of like, let fans be fans of you. Why wouldn't you let that? Like, why would you discourage that when it's not affecting your sales in any way as a company? You know, I don't like. I don't even feel like there's much of a conversation to be had because, like, I feel like we're all probably on the same page. But if anyone isn't, like, fair enough. It just makes me sad.
Yeah, it just seems like it's just an overreaction to something that's just honestly, it's just appreciation of your own work, and then they make something to, like, of their own free will, just because they enjoy it so much, and for you to slap them down, it seems a little ungrateful to your fans, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. I agree with you mainly.
I'm just double checking that Ash wasn't like banned or anything, right?
Okay, so okay,
That
you can
was
check.
me.
What?
That was me.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So I'm going to talk about a new thing now. Are we done talking about Nintendo?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about. I don't know. There's what was it, like a thing called Develop happening in Brighton this week or next week, I think. And apparently Hideo Kojima is going to give a keynote speech at it.
Kojima is love. Kojima is life.
And everyone is going major hype over it because they think it's going to be an impending announcement for something big because it's a keynote speech and all that. So it's a Develop conference in Brighton that happens in a few weeks, I think, from what I gathered. And apparently he's planning to break some of the silence on what he's been working on, according to a few things. I'm not sure how valid these news things are, but that he's supposed to be saying maybe like letting a few things to light about some of his projects, which, you know, hype because Kojima is awesome.
Yep. I'm excited for whatever he does on his own without like the constraints of all of the crap that Konami has been giving him.
Yeah, rather than being essentially having a stranglehold put over him.
Yeah.
This reminds me. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. There was a big. Was it a developer conference or something? You were talking about it, Kamal.
Sorry, what?
And you basically said it's for people who are developers or people who are really rich.
GDC?
I have no idea what you're talking.
Maybe?
What was I talking about it for? Like, or was I just talking about the conference?
You just said it was upcoming.
I don't know. GDC's already happened, so maybe not that.
Also,
No,
you
this was a
need to
couple of
maximize your end game.
Oh.
Sorry. I know you're just checking to see if I'm paying attention. That's that
yes.
Yeah, no, it probably did happen because you were talking about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember the conversation.
Zach's breaking the story. He says Kojima's going to announce a platform-exclusive third-person shooter with stealth elements and a tongue-in-cheek story. My gosh.
Oh, it was the GPU conference. Thank you, Zach. I like that Zach knows what I'm talking about more than I do.
Did you check that out at all by any chance?
The GPU conference?
Yeah.
I mean, I did. Yeah. It's. I don't know if we want to talk. Like, I guess I could give a general gist because like I'm not gonna.
We.
It was an NVIDIA run GPU conference. They have it every year. It's kind of about their new architectures that they're developing and like how they're planning on pushing the graphics side of things, like in gaming further. Not even just in gaming, in all visual work, like tech, like rendering, graphics work, CGI, stuff like that. Because obviously, like NVIDIA is a huge player in graphics, all the way from Pixar movies to the computer you've got right now. And yeah, they announced a new architecture that they're calling Pascal, and it's very impressive.
Pascal.
The current architecture that's out is called Maxwell. These are just kind of the code names. We're talking.
Oh, okay.
What a weird name.
We're talking more than more than 2x increase on performance is predicted. At the high end, like you'll see that entire like increase. So like the new card equivalent of like a P100, which is a development card, not like a graphics card you'd buy at home, will be more than 100% more powerful. But
it sounds really expensive.
Yeah, but
it's new PC stuff. It's going to be expensive, right?
The new version of like the 1080i, like the 1080i versus like the 980i, will not. Like, it's not going to be, like, 2x. They have the potential of doing that, but they're smart, and they're not going to sell a cut. They're not going to use up all of that performance in one generation. They'll make the leap, like, something enticing, but not huge, like 30%, and they'll save a bit more for next year when they release another one, you know? Because, like, that's how they keep consumers buying stuff. But it's pretty exciting. As someone who's going to be buying...
So are you going to be buying the new one?
Am I going to be buying? Ideally, that's my plan. Okay. Was my computer? I have a 3-year upgrade cycle on the graphics cards, so this is its 3rd year. It's 3 years old, my little computer, and it deserves a new graphics card for lasting 3 years.
Pat on the back. Although I suppose when you bought that, it would have been the newest, the latest, right?
Yeah.
So
excited.
Because it would make sense to buy the newest thing every year.
Yeah. I bought this when the 780 Ti came out, so it's been a couple years. Anyway, that was the GPU.
I kind of derailed that.
More tech news, but hey, it's okay.
Anyway, don't really matter, does it? And one last thing I want to talk about in gaming news would be the fact that the UK government is apparently supporting and sponsoring an international esports tournament, which I think is pretty significant in the fact that it's just recognising that esports are becoming a big thing now. So it's not one of those things that you can... I know a while ago we talked about that one, the X Games person who just sort of tried to claim that they were just not a real sport and stuff like that. But I guess now some more people are recognising that it's a legitimate, like, competitive thingy that you can involve yourself in, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably a good step for people who want to involve themselves in esports.
It's weird though, like,
Mm-hmm.
why is the government kind of, like, when has the government ever supported any type of sport?
I mean, government support
Like, why?
like stuff. They support like the major international tournaments all the time. Like when the Olympics come around, they always support that. And then like the last World Cup, like the government always support their national teams and for that. So
It's honestly just
because it gives legitimacy.
Yeah, it drives money into the economy as well. Like these seats
Yeah.
sell, like they give jobs, they give like things. Like it's just thinking about themselves at the end of the day.
Yeah. But obviously the fact that they are doing that shows that they seem to think that it can have some form of impact on society, I guess. So
Yeah, for sure.
I just thought that was interesting, the fact that
It is pretty cool.
a while ago, for maybe like a year and a half ago, a lot of people would never have heard of esports.
Yeah, it's growing
And now
ridiculously.
it's got to
Yeah.
the point where it's got to the point where like governments are now endorsing major tournaments, which is like it's a very fast leap for like a sport. Like sometimes when it comes to like, I know none of you might be interested in this, but China are trying to become like a big football nation, and they're talking about like 10-year plans and stuff like that. And just the fact that like esports have done that in like 18 months or something like that is it's kind of impressive when you think about it in that way.
Definitely pretty impressive.
Yeah, they have the I think it's called the Asian Champions League.
It's okay.
'Cause I know
It's okay.
Our
Yeah, there's the Asian Champions League, but
because I know that our teams over here compete for that,
I'm back from the dead, guys.
yeah, so,
Welcome back.
so it doesn't surprise me that they're pushing for that.
yeah.
The AFC.
Sorry
think.
about that. Try not to spam chat with caps, and you should be okay.
Well, that was all I wanted to mention about that. Unless you guys have anything to say about it.
It's alright, Zach. I still love you. Just a little bit less.
No, I think that's pretty much it for me.
Sums up pretty well. Yeah.
Esports getting big, hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
big esports.
I can see a lot of people, probably like the of the age group where they kind of look down upon that thing, like antisocial wise,
Esports.
and I could see them speaking out against that. Yeah.
It's
No,
really,
well,
Yeah.
not just esports, but gaming in general.
I think we're passing that point. Like I think like if there was a scale of like the amount of a population that games or thinks that gaming is like something really negative to the amount of the population that doesn't game, like, or doesn't like, but like, or people like that don't like, they don't associate negative feelings with gaming. I think we've gotten to a point where I think the majority of people are either people that play some form of video game on their smartphone, to their console, to whatever, you know, or just kind of don't care.
They just see it. It's a thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some people who think it's stupid and a waste of time, but they're gonna,
for sure.
like you said, they're in the minority now. There's people who still think like regular sports are stupid and a waste of time. So
Yeah.
it's just something you can't get rid of at this point.
I
There are
know.
people
I
who
know one of
It's a
them.
dislike thing. Yeah.
Um.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
you guys are fairly big on your Smite. It's pretty much a daily
Generally.
occurrence.
Yeah, I mean, I at least log in daily.
Yeah, same.
There's a new god that's been revealed.
Yeah, that's
Wei,
true. Yeah,
the
Jing Wei
Oathkeeper.
is the,
I hate, because we're on Xbox, right? So we're like a god behind at all times.
yeah, it's
So-
like we haven't got the last new god. We get the new god before this one on Monday.
Yeah, we get it.
Smite is
tomorrow.
life. Very much so. Look, very much.
Smite out. Spoiler notice. Smite is life.
Jingwei's pretty cool. Honestly, there's not much to show about her because they haven't even released the character thing. So,
Mm.
like, I could talk about her a bit. She's a new Chinese god. She's a hunter. If anyone knows what that is, it's an ADC for anyone that plays League or Dota. And she looks really OP. Honestly, like she looks like she's in need of a nerf.
Yeah, she's gonna be like really powerful for like early game.
Yeah.
So
There's a video if you want to show them.
Uh,
I mean, it doesn't really show much, does it? So
I
you can if you want, I guess. Zach says, "Well, we now go to the pub and watch some LCS or whatever Smite equivalent. How is that not social? Take that, Grandpa." Yeah, yeah. You just go down to the pub and just watch the Smite Worlds on like in the pub. That'd be so weird, though, right?
Yeah, that's a really weird thought. To be fair.
Yeah, just go to the pub and watching like
Oh,
the
Dodger.
DotA championships or whatever.
Dodger was commenting on how that happened to her and Sam, like when they were in LA. They went into like this like bar, and like they had like ESPN on, and this is when they were showing DotA because they show DotA on ESPN now, and like it was on that channel. They were just sat there like watching it.
In the sports bar watching DotA. This is so weird, though.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
I can imagine, yeah.
I might have wings, but I'm no bird brain.
Yeah, so
In what way? In what way is she OP?
her passive is whenever she dies, or when she returns to their starting point, she can fly to an objective really quickly.
Yeah, she can fly a really long distance very fast, basically.
So essentially, she can teleport without the need for a teleport item.
Yeah, or without any like cooldown. Like a teleport has like about 3-minute cooldown, is it? Something around that.
Yeah, I think it's 100. I think it's 120 seconds. I think.
Yeah.
Also, you need a big your game again.
Yeah, your screen's a bit small.
Don't worry, I'm still paying attention.
Thank you.
Um.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, the god. She's a cutie patootie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Zach.
I'm really excited for her because I just love ADCs in general. So, and she looks pretty cool. But I also like I'm always nervous when like a god looks like they're gonna probably be nerfed, like to get used to that and then have to get used to it again after the nerf happens.
Yeah, you've got to get used to all the rebalancing.
Yeah, she's got like insane early game aggression because you can get straight from the fountain to your first tower. And then you can recall and get straight from the fountain to your first tower, and then you can recall and get straight from the fountain to your first tower. Like it doesn't give the enemy much of a time to kind of just like actually attack.
I support Arsenal. Sorry.
Surprise, surprise! There's the pillow in the corner.
Yeah, funnily enough, right?
I'm gonna get shit for this.
You're just sitting that way. Ready?
Yeah, I am. Lay it on me.
Okay, so that's the Smite God.
And I guess since we've only got one more left, I might as well mention it. I don't know if any of you have ever played Banner Saga. No?
No,
I mean,
look, it reminds me of.
I never played it.
Reminds me of
It's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like Fire Emblem, I guess, that sort of game. But
Reminds me of something,
Yeah.
but I can't think of what.
yeah, it's got a really pretty art style. And then, but yeah, they've got a new one that's coming out, I think, at the end of April, I believe. And essentially, it just looks really pretty, and it looks like a continuation of the first one. And I'm definitely getting it, and it looks awesome.
Have you played the first one?
I finished the first one, yes.
So that's just as good.
I mean, it looks pretty much the same art style. Yeah, it comes out at, I think it's the end of April, but yeah.
It's really
But
cool.
you
because-
like the first one.
It's essentially, it looks like exactly the same play style and art style as the original game. It's got a couple of the same characters. And it looks like, based on this bit here, it looks like it's going to be the same sort of gameplay. Which I think is pretty much perfect, because it looks awesome. Because the original game was really good. It was just different enough to be like...
What kind of game is it?
It's like a Fire Emblem sort of thing. So you get like your unit and you can
Oh,
move certain blocks, and then they attack, and then your
I heard you say
opponent takes
Fire
a turn.
Emblem, but I didn't hear how it was similar.
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
game
fair
style. So you can move your players' tiles, and then you always have to react to the way your enemies move and stuff.
So it's basically a turn-based strategy game.
Essentially, yes, but a really pretty one.
Very pretty. It's got a very drawn out style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
the one. Yeah.
I can't remember what it reminds me of though.
Drawing.
It's annoying. Shut up, Tom.
yeah, I mean, it does remind you of drawings. It's true.
Speaking of the Warcraft movie, Ash, we could do movies now, and we could do TV after.
Yeah, we'll go into movies.
Let's talk about Warcraft movie a bit.
If you wish, so
I
sure.
mean, Ash was asking, so why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Luke, you said yes, Warcraft movie.
Yes.
what are your opinions positive?
My opinions are positive about the Warcraft movie. It just looks like a standard fantasy film a bit at the same time. Like, because I know a little bit about the lore and like a little bit about like the world, it's kind of nice to see the kind of orcs versus human conflict.
It's based on Warcraft, right? Not World of Warcraft.
No, yeah, it's not based off World. No.
Okay, cool.
It's based off the first Warcraft game. Like, the story is basically humans are like, oh my god, we're so cool.
Yeah, they are.
No,
because they got like the
peace
biggest shoulders in the world.
They do. But they're like in peace and stuff, and it's like, yeah, we've mastered the place. Then orcs are like, shit, we out of space, yo. So they move into the human world, and it's just like the conflict that surrounds it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've heard the story. It's just gonna be nice seeing the story.
It does look cool. Because like I like that, like I don't know the story in detail of Warcraft. I know a little bit here and there, but I like that it's gonna be kind of this story of like, not this side isn't right and this side isn't right. Like, this side had trouble and this is the homeland of another side. True, but like they're gonna have to come together in the middle to kind of like make this thing work. And it looks
which doesn't happen. But,
yeah, I know, but like it's gonna be a nice. It's a nice like idea.
Yeah, no, it's basically these are two factions that are being forced into a fight, and like, it's neither side's really wrong.
Yeah.
It's just more of a.
But one's green and beastly, so screw them.
No.
Yeah, that means they must be the bad guys, right? That's how it works.
Let me bring up an issue that a lot of people seem to be having then about the movie, and I want to see how you feel about it, and I'll tell you how I feel about it. People feel like there's too much CG, like, and they feel like it's noticeable. Like it's not like, oh, they're blending CG into the real world like lots of films do to create a experience that feels truly immersive. There are like scenes in that trailer that, like, a lot of scenes in that trailer that are 100% computer generated.
Can I weigh in on this that bit?
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to put orcs in if they're not CG because they're not real.
I feel like you weren't listening to me. Like, it's not about the orcs. Like, it's about the fact that the entire thing is CG. Like an orc in a real world is different to an orc in a CG world as well. Like,
so they've made the human CG as well.
It's
oh my god! It's not.
Sorry.
It's like in Lord of the Rings where they built like these huge set pieces and then like CGI people onto them.
Yes.
That makes sense. Like, they didn't it's like Jurassic Park. Like, they take the real actors and the actors are running, and then they're dying, and it's set in the real world, but then they add the CGI dinosaurs in later. Yes. It's like the whole world is essentially CG. All these actors are just standing by green screens.
Yeah, like Star Wars. Like Star Wars. What's it called? The prequels.
Oh, dude.
Like, because lots of the actors said they had a lot of trouble acting because. Like, and if you go look at, like, GIFs, there's GIFs of, like, outside of the movie.
I've
like,
seen that, where they're just in, like, green boxes and stuff.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the Warcraft films like, and people don't like that.
I mean, I guess it makes it harder to get a reaction out of your actors unless they're really good.
Kamal, don't back
Yeah, oh no.
Oh, never mind, we're good.
I mean, that being said, though, in all fairness, it's set in a fantasy world.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it.
It's been done, though. Like, Lord of the Rings is set in a fantasy world, and they didn't do that. Like, they did. Look, just to be clear, I'm being devil's advocate here. I feel like I personally watched the trailers. Feel like the actors are freaking doing fine. I feel like the world's immersive enough to me. I don't get this like uncanny valley that some people seem to be getting. But like, I'm just playing devil's advocate right now.
That's understandable. I mean, I'm just thinking because there's already a world there, and they would have to play off. They'd have to play off that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like,
it-
with Lord of the Rings, they have the books, but then they had to translate from the books. Whereas this, it's already set, and they have to go from that.
yeah, but
think-
that's achievable. Like, I don't think you're giving current film enough credit. Like, current film does this all the time. They want to create a fantasy world. They find areas in the real world that look like it, and they mod it so that they have a level of immersion. Like, this isn't something new, and it's not something that hasn't been done before.
I feel Zach makes a good point. I'm not intending to.
What?
But Avatar, aka Fungully in space, was so good. Like, but look,
I actually
story
did
of
have
Avatar-
that problem with Avatar personally. Like,
Oh,
I
really?
don't think I'm gonna have this problem with Warcraft from what I've seen in the trailers. But like, everything looks so fake. Everything looks so fake. I don't know.
Do you think it could be because it's trying to represent an alien planet? So like there's nothing based off the real world. It's just
Stop
fakeness.
killing me in the game. It really hurts, but I have to live. I have to live.
Or maybe when Kamal dies in the game, it really hurts, so he's got to kill you to stop that happening.
Ah, see,
How about that, though?
it's a two-way street. I don't know. Like, I personally think people are overreacting. I do. But I do see the advantages of using it. Like, I've watched. I don't know if you guys have watched Rocket Jump the show, but like Rocket Jump's that Freddie W channel on YouTube, and they talk. Yeah, and they talk about and they had a TV series on HBO that they talked about like how they produce shorts, and it was like a documentary, and at the end of each episode there was a short they made like during the episode, right? And they made a short about a comedy short about like kind of skating on action movies, and it was about like truck flipper versus bus puncher, and they're these two people, but like they're super strong, and the whole movies of these two people center around the fact that they could like punch a bus or flip a truck, right? And they were talking about like the CGI aspect of it, and the first two stunts they do in that. So in the short, they flip a bus, they flip a truck, and they flip a plane, they flip a train, they flip a cruise ship, right? The first two stunts, the bus and the truck, were real, and they were like, we need these to be real so that the audience's brain lets go and immerses itself in the world. And like, this isn't a new tactic. Like, this is how film producers go. Like, they trick you by making you feel like everything is genuine, and then as soon as you believe it, you stop looking for the little things that your brain naturally looks for that makes stuff be uncanny, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why they do that with CGI. That's why they go through the trouble of taking the Jurassic Park actors out to like plains in the middle of nowhere and telling them to run across fields and then adding a dinosaur instead of just telling them to run in a CG world, because it's different. It feels different.
But to be fair, I think Zach might have a good point there with the whole. Well, maybe they didn't have the budget to travel to all the different locations, and like maybe they just go into places that they can't recreate.
Yeah.
Like I know that the tower is like impossible to do.
Yeah. No, that's completely. It's very possible. It's very possible.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that thing come crashing down. What spoilers? Huh?
Yes, Ash. Oh, Video Game High School is so cool.
Yeah, I like Video Game High School. It was pretty good. Pretty solid.
Anyways, that's basically what
I
I have
don't
to
know.
say about the WoW film. I still think it's gonna be good. I'm coming off negative, but I'm still positive about it.
I just think it's just going to be another standard fantasy movie.
Yeah,
and I'm
same.
going to like it for that.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to
Yeah,
have it's
I
going to
could say
have
that.
people going to have people being overly dramatic about things, and then like impossible set pieces,
Yep.
and then
Just
and then
like
the
a
battle
movie,
and
right?
everyone goes home.
Pretty much.
I mean, I think Die Hard's an impossible set piece.
Sorry, did you have something to say, Josh?
I was asked. Someone came up to me who I played WoW with, like towards the back end of the time I used to play it, and they're like, "Oh, do you still play?" And I was like, "No, I just pretty much gave up on that ages ago." And I said, "Have you played?" And they were like, "Nah, not for a long time either." And I just got here with all this nostalgia, and I want to go back and play it, but I don't want to go back and play it.
You
You want to go back and play it, but you don't want to go back and play it.
Have you played since Cataclysm, Josh?
No. Oh no, I
Yeah.
played Mists. I played Mists for like a month or something.
Mist is the one with the pandas in, right?
Yeah.
And
The pandas were alright. Yeah. It was interesting, but like they changed so much of the world.
Yeah.
Like before that they ventured so Vanilla WoW was they already had Azeroth and Kalimdor, and then the expansions were always different worlds. So
Yeah.
Burning Crusade was what was Burning Crusade?
Burning,
What was it called?
It was the Burning Lands or something, wasn't it?
So, anyway, they go to a different they go through. Yes, they go out through the portal back to where the orcs originated from, and then the Lich King was Northrend, and they just added another island at the top, and then Cataclysm they just changed everything that was already there.
Yeah, but to be fair, they were applauded for that, and I also applaud them for that because
I mean, it was good. Like I liked the Barrens became a North Barrens and the South Barrens, and there was this giant like gorge running through the middle of it that split it. But like you just missed it. Just got to a point where you kind of wanted to go back and experience what it was like before.
I'm going to tell you now. There are servers. Some would say.
Yeah, but
that's kind of game news because WoW just shut down a vanilla server the biggest vanilla server ever. They just Blizzard just shut it down.
God damn it!
But yeah, I don't know too much to say about that other than like fans are pissed off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can
don't
imagine.
know Warcraft, so I wouldn't know anything about it.
Wasn't like after Mr. Pandaria though, didn't they do Warlords of Draenor? And wasn't that meant to be like amazingly good and like a revisiting of how the series was meant to be?
Yeah.
Like
I have no idea.
I know so many people that when Warlords of Draenor came out, were like, I'm going back to WoW. And I was like, oh my god, no. I'm going to lose everyone I know. Everyone I know is dying.
They're all going to go down the rabbit hole. They're all gone forever.
That's why I couldn't go back. It's just way too much time you have to
commit
invest
so much,
in it.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be fine if I had a bunch of mates and we're just mucking around with no real goal in sight, but like...
I'm not going to lie. I probably just have to commit the same amount of time and play.
Yeah, see, but yeah.
Yeah.
Tom agrees.
You can only have one game like that at a time, otherwise you're just gone forever, right?
Says you. I'll do them all.
Maybe it says me.
Like,
Yeah.
You just gotta have a rotor and you just gotta stick to that.
I'm not making a fucking timetable for my games. I'm not that committed.
I've got my next 5 retro games planned.
But you've got like a full timetable on the walls, so yes, this.
I'm
yes.
completely
I do.
I do think the Suicide Squad Joker looks really weird.
Yeah, it looks really
I'm
dope.
not into the character design of almost any of the characters in the Suicide
It's all
Squad.
it's all very 80s punk rock.
But we've had this conversation kind of before when we watched the Suicide Squad trailer on the thing. And it is it's kind of going to fall down on the acting.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, if they can pull it off, it'll work. But other than that,
After hearing what Jared Leto did to himself to get into the role of the Joker, I'm like, okay, he's on the right track.
Yeah, I have to
he's in the right track. Like, he sent dead animals to his cast members.
Okay, I wanted to say this when you guys were talking about it, but I couldn't because I was at work. I mean, okay, getting prepared for a role is one thing, but being an absolute asshole is another.
I mean, they were okay with it because they knew what he was trying to do.
That's not the point.
I mean, the Joker is the ultimate asshole.
He's a method
But
actor,
you don't have
Josh.
to be an asshole.
I mean,
to play an asshole.
You really do if you want to nail Joker.
I mean, I don't think you have to. I agree, but if that's how he gets into his role, that's how he gets into his role, you know. Also, actors are all weird. They hire them knowing that they have these weirdnesses, and they deal with it.
After hearing what Heath Ledger had to do to get into the Joker and make that probably one of the most believable performances of him ever. The guy, he was probably okay, I understand that I have to really let go to do this.
I'm not saying it's not impressive, but sending dead animals, come on, where's the limit?
There's a chance it's also if we're gonna be cynical about it, there's a chance he's also just trying to step up. He's oh look, you're doing
he
this
just
stuff.
thinks he
I
has
have
to
to be
top the
weird
last
too.
thing.
But we'll have to wait.
Yeah.
I just feel where's the limit? Dead animals one day. What's the next day?
If you
Dead people.
Exactly.
When Mark Hamill voices for the Joker, he does some pretty weird shit as well.
Yeah, but he's not sending dead animals to people.
I know, but that's because he doesn't have to be him. He has to just voice him. He says that as well.
No, that's what I've always said. That that's the one thing that people forget about voice actors. They're acting behind the microphone.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're still actors.
Yeah, I
Just don't see them.
I don't think to voice act well, it's less of an embodiment of a character. I don't think you're right there.
If anything, it's harder because you can't use your body to like. You've got to put it all in your voice.
I think the point is like for both, you have to be completely in that mindset. So like,
See, I get that, but at the same time, I think that the difference being that when you do the voice acting, like it is the sound. The sound is the most important thing in the world, how you portray that. But when you've got to do a physical presence, like when you have to physically be the Joker and be this kind of scrawny guy, that's also incredibly intimidating and psychotic. Like, I'd say that's hard. That's really hard to pull off.
I don't think voice. I think voice acting is much. It's more than just how someone sounds. It's that you bring.
Yeah,
you
it's
bring
the way
you bring an entire
gravitas you bring
presence.
to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, exactly, Andy. Like you bring an entire presence when you speak. Like,
yeah.
And it's my accent, and it's how loud I talk, and it was like how I accentuate my stuff, and how I think, because these guys don't read the script and just go one for one. They like kind of freeball it a lot. Like they go, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what the Joker would say, and they say that. Like and I don't think
you can do a lot more with visual presence.
Yeah,
because you can interpret things more when you see
use
it.
your body language.
You have to portray that through your voice without all the physical stuff behind it.
You have to paint a picture on someone's head, and that's probably quite hard.
Yeah.
But hey, we can agree to disagree, guys.
We're allowed to.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not. Look, if he went and sat in a room by himself for a week, that's. I mean, to go to that level of dedication is a bit odd, but I mean, it paid off in Heath Ledger's case. But like, where's he getting these dead animals from? Send them to
you don't want to go. You don't want to go.
You can buy it dead.
You don't want to know that.
It doesn't. I don't understand why.
How do you think people feed this snakes?
If he's buying dead mice, let's be real here. If he's buying dead mice, he's not doing anything to help himself as a character. I can buy a dead mouse and send it to anyone. It's not going to change me. He better be killing these animals if he's making it out that he's like making himself more of a Joker. And if he is killing those animals, that's messed up. Stop killing the animals.
So either way,
I think it's more watching like the cast members just open like these little boxes and then just like there's just a dead animal in there. And you're just like, what the fuck, dude?
I wonder at what point they were just like, he sent me another thing.
You did another
like, I wonder the point where it would just become like a common thing.
It's impressive how like tangential we've been going. I love it.
I'm gonna see if I can stop. See if I can find some of the other stuff he did.
Okay, while you're doing that...
Shall we move on to the next actual trailers at this point?
That is true, Zach. It is true.
He's rich.
I imagine he would
get
be
them
fairly...
anywhere. Yeah, I mean, Zach might have not heard this yet, but it doesn't really come down to like getting the animals as much as like for it to be anything relevant to the character, he has to have done something. Like that's what I think anyway, personally. Like I could ship an animal to Luke. It's not going to do anything for me. It's not going to make me feel more Joker. Like
wouldn't you think going and making like practical jokes are a bit on the darker side would be more like the Joker's forte than just sending them dead animals randomly?
Okay. This is what he did in full. In addition to dressing like a homeless experimental musician, Leo sent disturbing gifts to his fellow cast members in order to capture the spirit of the Clown Prince of Crime. He sent some bullets to Will Smith and a bunch of creepy love letters and a live rat to Margot Robbie, who has a dubious playing Harley Quinn. Leo's gambit of doling out presents that could easily be misconstrued as warnings didn't stop there. He sent the entire cast a video of him with a dead pig. Amazingly, he found the time in between all his important preparation work to take a Buffalo Bill selfie and put it on the internet to delight Suicide Squad fans all over. The film is supposed... Sorry.
No, that's alright, finish.
The film is supposed to be so dark and emotionally traumatizing that the producers provided the cast of access to an on-set therapist to console them between takes.
It sounds like a lot of marketing talk.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like how the Walking Dead actors came out after like that season, they were like, "Oh, we didn't feel the same again for weeks." And I was like, "Yeah, okay."
But
whatever you say.
To be fair as well, like this, they did the same with The Dark Knight, and I can believe that Heath Ledger did all
that. Yeah. Anyway, is there anyone else have
a dead pig?
Joker thing?
Where do you find a dead pig, huh?
It's very easy to get a dead
No,
pig.
that's it.
Abattoir.
They sell dead pigs at like Tesco.
Yeah.
Like whole dead pigs.
Yeah,
Hey,
if
no,
you
you know
go
what you
to a
should have done?
butcher, you could get a whole one.
They should have made it, or he should have gone to like the factory where they just butcher all the cows or something, and had him
Can I have
assist
one
or
go?
just watch on.
Okay, I'm gonna get
Where's the extra dedication to the dedication?
I'm gonna get the BFG trailer up.
Yeah, let's do the trailers.
Hey, friendly giant.
Okay, here we go.
I really need to pee.
The BFG on Disney. We're on movies for anybody that's wondering why the hell we're watching a BFG trailer.
When the boogeyman comes out.
Oh yeah, this is the
The girls say the witching hour arrives at midnight.
It's the BFG, yeah.
yeah no,
I
but
think
like
it comes at 3
the way they made it look really creepy.
When
I mean, yeah, it does
I'm
look.
the only one left
It's because it's
awake.
I know
creepy,
I know-
though, isn't it?
I know the teaser from before looked super creepy. But this it doesn't really make it look any less disturbing. I know the story because I've read the book, but
Yeah, I've read this song.
my god, they still make it look. I mean, thinking back about it, it is still pretty damn creepy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's not not creepy.
No,
the book is creepy.
it was the whole the way the guy just like takes the girl. Like I read it as a kid, you don't really think
You
of
don't
it.
make the connection.
But like seeing like this giant kidnap a small child it's weird.
It's dodgy territory. Put it that way.
Where am I?
Giant country.
Yeah, that's the watching hour.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I remember bits of the original about the book, and it's I'm interested to see how they portray the other parts of it.
Lonely heart.
I don't remember the book that well, but I'm curious about the movie.
I remember bits. I don't remember like how the story goes, but I can remember like
Whisper.
what the main giants are like. And all that.
Yeah, I know he's a one-off, right?
Yeah, he's like he collects dreams, and the other ones do
Sophie.
less. They don't collect. Let's say they don't collect dreams.
You haven't.
They call it children.
I mean, I'm trying not to spoil it, but okay, yeah. There you go.
It looks okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm probably
no,
not going
I'd
to see
be-
it. It looks interesting though.
I'd watch it, but yeah, I don't know if I'd go over my way to watch it in the cinema or something. Unless someone's like, "Hey, let's
If
go
my
watch
little
this,"
sister,
which I
like,
highly
falls
doubt,
in
knowing
love
my
with
friends.
it, I'll take her to watch it and I'll go watch it with her. But outside of that, I don't think I'm going to see it in the cinema. Well, maybe
Yeah.
at all. Anybody else have anything to say on that? Or are we going to go to Rogue One?
That's just good. I think we just got a Rogue
Straight on.
One, right? Yeah.
Rogue One, Star Wars filler movie 1. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, I'll start the trailer. Wait, is this the teaser? I'll screw. Wait, no, it's the trailer. Sorry.
Are you just playing the trailer and not the teaser? We're not playing the teaser.
Nope,
Finally.
Okay.
no teaser.
Okay.
Oh, you're not showing it. Come on.
Yeah.
We can link the teaser and the dump, but we'll just show the trailer.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of
Wait,
peace
what is
and
this?
justice.
Who linked this? This isn't it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I watched it. It was like,
This isn't it. I don't know who linked this, but like it's like some fan made thing.
yeah.
Right.
That's what I was
I'm
thinking when I
unsure.
watched it before.
Okay, I will go get the proper
Well-
trailer.
I feel like the teaser
Yeah.
trailer I linked was the right one. Because I was watching them both side by side.
Or wait, it's easier for you here, isn't it?
I think the one I put in was the right one.
For the record.
Jin
I've
Erso.
already got it.
Yeah, that's the one I linked.
Okay.
Forgery of
get
imperial
rid of the other one.
documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
On your own from the age of 15, reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined.
This is a rebellion, isn't it?
I don't know who that
They
is.
rebel.
But okay. Yeah, that's mine.
We have a mission.
We've
for
been
you.
over this several times. I don't know that much about Star Wars.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I remember from the Star Wars Empire or I think she was one of the heroes on that.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
So, Mark, this past year.
Okay. That's the Rogue One trailer.
See?
So, as someone who was not excited by the idea of a filler movie between every main story movie every year, and felt like, I think many people felt that it was the Disney money-making machine just trying to cash in on them dollar bills, y'all.
Y'all.
It looks good.
Yep.
It does look
Yeah,
it does look really cool.
And a fellow Star Wars fan came up to me and asked me if I'd watched it and asked my thoughts, and I hadn't. And he linked it, and I watched it. And I have more interest for it now than I did before.
Yeah, I think
it looks really cool. I like it.
I think it did a good job as a trailer, and I'm not gonna watch anymore. I'm done. I'm freaking done. I swear to God, if we like another trailer, and they're like, no, you guys can watch it and talk about it, because like, screw watching more than one trailer nowadays.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know, although I know Abrams says it probably doesn't have anything to do with this, but they might get in the same route they did for Force Awakens.
Probably.
What? Like,
I could be wrong. Or they like don't. They hint at stuff without actually saying anything.
Oh yeah.
But not enough for you to actually know what's going on.
I hope so. I hope that becomes a consistent thing with them. I hope that stays a consistent thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really, I think it's really important to like, if you're gonna release trailers, fans are gonna watch them. I think it's really important to try and manage story and like reveals and stuff, and try and keep them for your main release. Because like, J.J. Abrams gets that because he cares about like the experience that people have when they get into theater. But too many people just want them to get into the theater, and like after that, it's like done, money's in the bank, whatever.
And once you've got the ticket, it's like I don't care anymore, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Mon Mothma though.
Any comments?
Actually, I'm gonna say about the thing that everyone said on the internet.
Oh yeah, and Spoda, you can start writing away. You have permission.
Get your rant ready. But essentially, all the comments is just full of things saying, "Oh, it looks just like Hunger Games. It looks like Captain Saudine." It's like
Hunger Games.
Yeah, I mean the fact that
let Andy finish explaining this.
The fact that it's an young, I guess it's a young girl who's kind of like a rebel, and she doesn't respect authority, and she's like a warrior, like a soldier sort of thing in her own right, is sort of like, people are like, oh well, it must be the Hunger Games, right? It's exactly the same, and it's like, I mean, first of all, that's how that works. You can't just have like a character that's vaguely similar and be like, yeah, that's just they're the same one. So, well, I mean, the only similar thing about it is they both wear a black armor sort of thing.
They're both they both have vaginas. That's the similarity.
Yeah, they're both women in their mid-20s, I guess. And
I didn't know
that's
about
the
this
stupidest thing.
until Spoda
But it's
brought
just,
it up earlier. It was
I had a look. But it's just like, you can't just make the Vegas connection then start babbling about it on the internet. That's not how that works.
I think she's the boho.
Yeah, I believe that's her name in the film. So she is the boho. Yep. She is boho from Hungry Games. Yep.
I just
I don't even
yeah,
want to give that too much time of day. I just thought, it's happening. It's what's happening. So
it's ridiculous.
People on the internet make dumb statements, so whatever.
Mon Mothma though.
Does anyone here feel like it's too Hunger Games-y?
Oh no.
No. That's the only thing.
I never saw that at all.
I was hoping someone would say yes. It really was.
Look, if they throw it into a wilderness that's closed off and they can't escape with a bunch of other kids and they have to murder each other, sure, I'll backflip and say, it's very much like Hunger Games.
If they make her do Battle Royale, then it's Hunger Games.
I think the other thing is they're showing this woman off as like a soldier, and like Katniss Everdeen was never a soldier. Like she knew how to fire a bow and that was it, and she was mediocre at best, even after the training. Like she was never meant to be like this legendary badass woman. Like she was a centerpiece, you know?
Yeah, she was a symbol.
Because the representation of women in movies is not good enough. I tried my best.
Dude. I mean, oh well,
But yeah, it was dull.
It looks cool. I don't know a lot about, like, I know there's a lot of information because this is set, like, between, it, like, in, like, it's set in the past. I know there's a lot of information about what it's following and kind of the goings-on. I don't know any of that, and I don't really want to know, but if anyone wants to talk about it, they can.
Yeah, you'll spoil. If you know too much, you just spoil yourself, right?
Is that what a feminist sounds like? I try my best, damn it. Look.
He doesn't stereotype. Feminists can sound like whatever they want to sound like. Anne.
Yeah, they could be like this. Wait, what's the quote?
Feminists could sound like
because the representation of women in movies is not good enough. Or it could be, it's because the representation of women in movies is not good enough. Come on, get it together.
Anyway.
It's 2016, come on.
Right. Wait, someone was saying something. Before Andy railed us. Oh, you were talking about, like, the plot.
Yeah, I heard rumors before that it was just going to be a heist movie, and like I was kind of like, oh god, no. I kind of like that it's more than that now. Like it's definitely going to have the heist because they're going to be stealing the plans for the goddamn Death Star.
Yeah.
But there also seems to be like a representation of war in it, and like how the rebels do this fight, how they keep this fight going for years and years and years.
Yeah, they show the other people in the rebellion as people instead of like fodder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you haven't got the A team, Luke Skywalker in hand to just like do everything for them. It just shows how the rebels used to function without them.
Yeah.
Like, there was genuinely people who were on equally a badass level that just like just got the job done quietly.
Please. It's not difficult.
I have more though. Sorry, Luke.
What's that?
Continue.
Oh no, I was just saying because they're rebels, they're not meant to be like big poster childs. Like,
yeah.
Getting the job done.
I'll say that like I don't know that I'm gonna be a super fan of this woman's character, like because that line was super cheesy to me. Like super super cheesy. Like, oh, I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel without a cause. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit.
But
it feels like more of an action movie, like what Attack of the Clones was for the prequels, I guess.
Yeah.
You sure you want to compare it to the prequels?
No, I'm just saying that it's probably going to be more action based.
Yeah, I could say that.
I think as well, it's just going to be able to show you things that happen that they kind of wanted to show you, but
it's okay, guys.
Not story yet. Like I kind of wanted I didn't want it to fall into one person though. I kind of wanted it to be a team because they talked about how like a bunch of rebels.
Isn't that going to be like the next like one after that? Will that?
No, they're all completely separate. They're all completely separate stories.
Yeah,
I didn't really look much into it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, anything before the original trilogy is a prequel, to be fair, and anything after is a sequel.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, it would be a prequel technically.
What was I going to say? They might just be being smart and keeping as much as they can close to their chest.
True. That's true.
Yeah. And if you're going to show any character, you're going to be smart. You show the female character.
Yeah.
Like that's
you get the praise.
Yeah, you get the praise, right? Like, let's be real.
Oh my god, such representation.
Yeah.
If only she wasn't white. There would be so much representation.
You can't tick all the boxes with one character. That's too pandering.
No, that's what they did in The Force Awakens. The
woman was
that's
white.
what I mean. That's what I mean. They just separated. They had one main lead character, and it's like, no, this is too much, and they just.
But the woman's never black, Luke.
Yeah, that's too much.
The woman's always freaking white. Let's be real. No, I don't freaking care. I have no cares.
I mean, you can't say anything about the Sheila who plays Rey.
No, she's a cutie patootie too. David Brent. Sorry, I was just reading further down. But if we're done, I might as well move on to it, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I might as well go for it.
The Office movie.
Is that what this is?
Basically.
I did not know that.
Okay.
Because I've never seen The Office. So.
It's basically. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna play it.
Oh wait, I just wanted to say one thing from Lewis.
Hello,
Luke, she'd need to be a trans gay wolfkin lead to tick all the boxes today. Sad. That's sad that might be true.
He's back.
Before you start the trailer, I'm just going to say I'm going to drop now because I've got work in the morning. So.
Alright. Goodbye, Andy.
Alright, lady. Take it easy.
Goodbye, our camera setup.
Later stream. I'm just going to break the camera setup, so enjoy that. I'll probably stay in the chat and look at that, but yeah.
Alright, sweet.
So, thanks for sticking around as long as you did. I know we pushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if I'm not at work next Sunday, I'll be here longer, but not tonight.
Coolio.
Bye.
Bye.
Oi.
No, I can work with that. I'm not going to touch it.
Hello, I'm David Brent. You probably know me as the star of the BBC.
This makes me want to go back and watch the
2000
the UK Office series because I watched the American one, which I don't think I finished, and I quite liked it. First season was a bit slow, and you kind of warm up to Michael and the rest of the cast.
It's about.
But I think that what really sold it was the dynamic between Dwight and Jim.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So is it? It's just a full-length feature film Office then.
It seems. It's not. It's not. It doesn't have any of the other cast. I don't think they may make like a guest appearance or something. But I legitimately think it's just going to be about David Brent.
No, that's not really, like, I didn't mean like the cast-wise. I meant like.
Well, he says.
Like the.
He says in the trailer. He says in the trailer that you might know me from, the BBC show, The Office from 2000, and he doesn't say. So it seems like it's a continuation on from that.
I think so as well. Is it filmed in that style though, or like I can't tell? I can't tell if he's recognizing a camera.
Hang on. Oh no. Yeah, it seems to be.
Okay.
Are you showing it? Come on, because there's nothing there, by the way.
I was, but you were talking and the audio was just a mess in my ears, so I stopped.
Oh, sorry.
Like, I didn't want to torture people watching.
Sorry,
is it okay?
You can show it.
Okay for me to pee?
Yeah. I'll show the full thing and you can pee.
Okay. Oh.
Hello, Loveycam.
I'm David Brent. You probably know me as the star of the BBC Two documentary The Office back in 2000. No, that was then. This is now. I'm currently a singer-songwriter and a rep.
We got one song. It's about rock and roll, but it's a metaphor for sex. It goes, I'm gonna roll you over and rock you stupid and leave you there just humming. There's a party in my trousers, baby, and everybody's coming. You get it? Ask me how I'm spelling coming.
How are you spelling coming?
C-U-M-I-N.
That's cumin.
Double M. Think. It's the post. So, yeah. That sort of coming. Well, not with, but with, you know, although some women do squirt. Don't know what.
This is so immensely awkward. I love it. Come into cinemas too.
Yeah.
This is so immensely awkward. I love it. Come into cinemas too.
Yeah.
What about Powerpuff Girl Andy? You know what? I will do that right now. I will freaking Powerpuff Girl Andy right freaking now.
Wait, what?
Andy's about to be Powerpuffed.
Okay.
Powerpuff. Dun 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 dun. Oh wait, I never got Andy's Powerpuff. I'm just gonna put Luke's Powerpuff on Andy instead. Dun 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 dun.
What was I going to say? I liked the trailer. It might be one of the few. It might be one of the few Ricky Gervais movies I might like, because I haven't liked many. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I could see that. Isn't he in the one where the word no doesn't exist or something?
Oh, the
the invention of lying.
Yes, that's the one. Sorry.
I hated that movie watching it.
I think I saw bits of it, but that's meant to be Powerpuff Luke.
That's Powerpuff Luke, yeah. I don't have you, Andy. I don't have you. Send me the GIF on Facebook. I forgot where it was. Anyway.
Sorry. Yeah, I think I saw bits and pieces of that movie. I don't think I ever actually watched it.
Dude, he doesn't. No, I like Ricky Gervais. I just don't like his movies. But The Invention of Lying was a major disappointment for me. It's like it was so heavy-handed, and like he was so anti-religion in that movie. He was just slapping me in the face with it the whole time. I was just
his
like,
atheist dick.
Yeah, like there's literally one point where he makes up God. Like he makes up God, and then like he makes up a building where you can go to think. Like he calls him the man in the sky, and then he does the commandments on pizza boxes, and then he makes up the afterlife, and then he makes up they make a building so that like you can go there and think about the man in the sky, and then at one point he literally dresses in. He's literally just got a bathrobe on and a massive beard, and he's pretending to be Jesus, and I'm just like, can you not like? This is like this the premise for the film.
It's not witty. It's not smart. It's not like risque. It's just stupid.
It's like he had such an interesting premise, like a universe where lying has never been invented, and he is the only man in the world who can lie.
Yeah,
and I was interested by that. I was like, I wonder what they'll do with this, and like it was just basically bashing religion the entire time, and I was just like, I'm not into this. Like, do it if you make funny jokes about religion, then I guess I'll be okay with that. But if you're just being solidly unfunny and just trying to push your own agenda, I don't want to listen. I don't want to watch this anymore. Anyway, yeah, but this looks good.
Luke.
Yes.
You want to take us to Tech Town?
Tech Town? Oh.
Will you take me to Tech Town?
Luke added some tech info that is very close to his heart.
Yes. Mainly some news about a teacher I am very proud of. So I used to go to Fishguard High School, and I had an IT teacher there called Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
First name Fisk.
No, first name Duncan.
Fisk.
No, Fisk, Luke. Fisk.
And he was probably one of my favorite teachers there. Like, he was pretty cool. He genuinely loved teaching, and like he loved teaching IT, and like he got on board with us. Like he was funny, but at the same time he was quite stern. You know, like he wanted to teach us, and he wanted to teach us in the best way possible. But like he wasn't above, like he wasn't a pushover, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And at one point, somebody was coming to survey the school for some government thing, and the head teacher wanted a seating plan for every single class. So he made this program which which did that. And then he was like, "Oh, hold on, this is kind of cool." And he kept working on it, and basically what he made was, so teachers can make seating plans for every class. And what they could also do is that they could also write notes and whatever about how students interact with one another. Like, this student, when sat with this student, doesn't get along, and they can rate that. And then when teachers go to make a seating plan for their next class, it generates like the optimal places where you put those kids.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like okay, so this person doesn't go, this person doesn't go, they go there, and then so you basically got like probably the best seating plan in your class.
Yeah, it's about like optimizing their kids' basically educational experience by making sure they're not like next to a bully or a distracting friend or like whatever, just next to a person that just lets them operate properly, basically.
Yeah. So and then I don't think they mentioned it in Huffington Post, but like there was a time where the school wasn't looking too great. It's like the head teacher left and the deputy had to step up to be the head teacher for a year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Wilson left. He left to start his own business, and the article describes it as like just sleepless nights every day for the next year. But he took this around.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He took this around to like Dragon's Den type people, and apparently they were just completely into it, and it took off. And he basically set up the company in Fishguard as well. And what he's been doing, he's been hiring his old students.
Luke.
To work for his company. Yes.
Go get a job.
No. There's nothing I can do there.
Luke, go get a job.
No, there's nothing I can do there.
Luke, BS.
You say that. But you know, someone has to
tell him you're all about finding potential, right? Find my potential. I've been looking.
Well, he actually took, when I was in year 10 or year 11, I think, he basically told me, there's people who make money by posting videos on the internet. You should do that. and I was like, and at the time I was like, as if I could ever do that.
Damn it! If you got going when he told you that, you'd be freaking famous.
I know. I hate myself for not doing it. I legitimately do, because I was just like, there's no way I could do that.
Why? Thank you, Hook. Also, hi.
Because I thought it was much more difficult to make videos than it actually was. So I was just like, nah, there's no way I could do that. Also, I was lazy as a kid and sad. Let's forget about that period.
Common theme was Luke. No, I can't do that, and he just shuts himself down and avoids looking at it. Like, why? Why? We don't know, but common theme. Anyway, it's really cool. It's really nice to. It's more than just like this teacher that Luke knew. Like, England is technologically way behind like the rest of the world when it comes to tech developments, and for no good reason.
England.
I mean, dude, you're a different story, but like, and it's for no good reason. And it's nice. It's nice to see like people backing stuff that is not only good, but like not only good for children and good for schooling, but good for the economy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But I actually know a guy who works with him now, and apparently it's picking up more than like Huffington said. Like it's really kicking off there.
Yeah.
And I'm just super happy because like this is genuinely a guy who I really respect, and like I never got to tell him whatever, but I guess I still could if I ever randomly ran into him. But
So you knew him to a certain degree? Like, did he teach you?
He taught me IT. He taught basically everyone IT. Like at some point in IT, you were taught by Mr. Wilson, and then some other point you were taught by Mr. Davis.
Okay.
And they were just really, really, really great teachers. And like, I wasn't the best IT student, but he never told me that I could not do anything.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
He basically was one of the few teachers that was like, no, you can do this. You're just being lazy.
Sweet. Good on him.
Yeah, no, because he's
I just didn't I didn't know how to title, because when you asked to add it to the link dump, I didn't know how to title that.
No, it's fine. It was more of something I wanted to talk about because, again, super proud of the guy, super happy for him. So
Yeah. That's fair enough.
I will talk about it.
It seems to be drawing international attention too. It's not.
I'm ready for the Silicon Valley.
Extra national attention, Josh. Is it drawing extra national attention?
I'm ready for
What does
Fishguard
that
to have
mean?
become the what's it called?
What?
The fancy word.
Yeah, Silicon Valley of Wales. I'm ready for that.
Yes.
So many people in Fishguard working on edgy tech. It's gonna be great. Sarcasm. This is all sarcasm. It's just him. It's just him. I mean, it's great. It's great. He's doing a great job. But like, Huffington Post is like, oh, it's gonna become this
Okay. And I assume baboons are very similar genetically to humans.
Yeah, the connective part, basically the part where like the blood comes in and out, is a very similar alignment, and the strength is good enough to last a while in other animals of like that size, of like our size, basically. And primates, obviously, like baboons and stuff, are like very representative of our biology. So that tends to be the case.
Okay.
We already kind of use pig hearts in people every once in a while to like prolong. So I guess the point of this would be that if we can keep a pig heart going in a baboon for that long, we could probably keep a pig heart going in a person for that long, which would be really impressive.
It seems like they didn't replace the baboon's heart, so that might not be something they're looking at. More so, they just get... So 5 baboons were given 5 pig hearts, and they were hooked up to the circulatory system while their own heart continued to pump at the same time.
Yeah.
So essentially, they're baboon Time Lords. But it almost seems like a placeholder until they, I guess, can get a human heart.
Yeah, that's what they use them as. Placeholders. It's just it's very difficult to keep a person going for long enough to wait for a heart transplant, and heart transplants are rare, like very far between that someone dies with a heart that's easily transplantable into another person. So the longer you can keep a patient going without one, the better. And yeah, this just looks like a step forward in that direction.
Wait, like, have you ever seen the I think they've like 3D printed hearts and stuff as well.
Yeah. There's this thing anybody in the chat who's interested can Google it, called a ghost heart, and it's probably the most interesting piece of progress we've had. It's basically when you take, and you can do it to anything. You can make ghost livers, you can make ghost lungs, stuff like that. What you do is you take lungs or hearts or whatever from a donor, and a non-compatible donor or someone you don't expect to be compatible, and you strip it of all of their cells except for like the
you essentially bleach it.
Yeah, basically. And you get this like white basically shell of the organ, and then you use the current human stem cells to regrow the biology of that heart on top of it. Yeah, it's really sci-fi. It's so sci-fi, right?
Yeah. I remember reading this.
And then you have that heart again, like a brand new one. And you just implant it in, and it's like a 100% compatibility rating, and it's really crazy.
I saw a really cool video earlier where, so basically, like, this teenager passed away in, like, a car crash, and he was a donor. So he donated, his heart went to this old man.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, the mother of the teenager managed to track the old man down. And it was basically this kind of sweet thing where he allowed her to, like, listen to her son's heart.
Yeah.
It's like she's like weeping and crying but smiling at the same time because she knows that her son just did this amazing thing for this dude. It's a sweet video.
It reminds me of Radiolab. There was a story about a lady. They had a I think a son, and I can't remember what was wrong with it, but they didn't expect it to live very long, and I think it lived slightly longer than expected, but it eventually passed away, and they donated the kid's body, I think the whole body, and like I think she met up with like some of the people who end up with his heart and stuff, and she was amazed by like how much those parts are needed for even just like for babies or children.
Yeah.
Like you think donors for human adults, but like, what about kids? You know?
Yeah. The fact that everyone is not legally required to be a donor offends me. Like the fact that you still have to sign up to donate your freaking decent organs when you are a dead husk of meat offends me. But I'm not gonna get onto that.
Well, what about I might need my heart in the afterlife?
What are you, ancient Egyptian?
Even then, they were removed.
Is there any religion today like?
No. As a member of a religion today, no.
I mean, like, just the one.
Guys,
just the one.
I really need to pee. I'll be.
All right. I think because we're in wrap up, I'm gonna show this Monsters trailer, and then we'll do the giveaway. Actually, I'll start the giveaway while we watch it. Sure.
Okay.
I forget. Oh yeah, it's keyword, isn't it? Keyword. What do you want the giveaway word to be?
I want the giveaway word to be sunshine.
Sunshine, lollipops, rainbows. Okay.
I can think of anything we talked about. Like to link it to.
Okay. We'll run that giveaway while I show the Money Monsters trailer.
I think sunshine.
I need to take this in because I haven't seen it before.
Okay.
Anyone who can get out right now. Do not look up. Do not make eye contact. Just go. Lee, stay calm. I'm right here.
We are live in 5 minutes.
You have the revisions for the opening.
We're still making some changes.
Am I going to get the changes before the show or after
You know the
show?
drill. You just point the camera in my direction. We'll figure it out together.
It always sounds so simple and yet so moronic.
Here he is, the Wizard of Wall Street himself.
The name is Lee Gates. The show is Money Monster. Without risk, there is no reward. Should I sell? Should I unload? Get some balls! Man up!
Who's that guy on camera 2?
You want to complain about it? Go ahead.
Who is it? Anybody know?
Was it a union thing?
Cut the feed.
Whoever's in there, turn the cameras on. Turn the cameras on, Patty. Turn them on. What do you want me to do? Turn them on.
Put it up.
Take it out. Put it on. How do I know it won't blow up? Because I have the detonator. My thumb comes off this trigger, then we all explode. I might be the one with the gun here, but I'm not the real criminal. It's people like these guys.
I got my finger on the trigger,
I'm telling you, it's rigged. The whole damn thing.
but I don't know who to trust.
They're stealing everything from us, and they're getting away with it, too. How's that even fair?
Just keep talking to him. All right, you're good at that.
Got my finger on the trigger.
You lost a lot of money when the market tanked.
Faith just ain't.
They tracked down his girlfriend.
That was everything we had, every last cent. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to survive.
I'll get you some answers.
Nobody was asking any questions before. These guys could expose everything.
We both want an explanation for what went wrong.
We don't know. You have to understand how delicate of a situation this
I'm
is.
sitting 80 feet from a bomb. Don't talk to me about delicate situations.
We're human beings. We're not computers. We have a conscience.
I'm trying to save him. You're trying to shoot him.
I want an explanation.
Follow the money, find the fraud.
We're in this together now. Don't turn your back on anybody. I don't want you to die.
Oh my God.
No! You came here to get some answers. You deserve to get some answers.
Night, Anne. Good night. That actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it looks genuinely interesting.
Thanks for the suggestion. I didn't even know this existed.
No, neither did I.
It was like one of those movies, like the one where the guy has to wait in the phone booth for like, and the guy's like talking to him on the phone, and like the one where what's that movie called? This is the one that came out recently with the they're trying to decide whether it's worth droning like this village because this one guy's there. It's one of the tense movies that's just like
it's topical conversation as well, like that like we should be having. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind going to see that now.
I'm just gonna type this again. Is sunshine. Type it for a chance to win a gum. Okay, so we're in wrap up now, I guess. So just like for Ash and anybody like Ash that wants to like interact with us like news-wise and wants to share news with us, we actually have a Twitter account, and it's in the area below, and you can follow.
Yep.
And if you tweet at us news throughout the week, we will add that to the link, and that way it's easier for us to show it because we will have seen it, and then we'll have commentary for it instead of doing it live. We have a YouTube channel, which is also down in the description area, that you can... Sorry, Josh? Your face confuses me.
You confused me. Usually like Josh with the outro.
Oh.
I like it. Continue.
Which is down in the description area, so you can go and subscribe to that if you want to watch previous podcasts, or if you want to keep up to date with the current podcast, because they're getting pretty long nowadays, which you might have noticed. And that is because we are changing our format.
Yes.
Time zones have been a little bit of a bane for this podcast for a while. We have to try and sync up with Australia, and we have to do it without torturing Josh, which is hard because torturing Josh is kind of fun, and is also like
easy,
the easiest time, right? So we've moved our start time across an hour to 10 p.m. GMT. We've killed the idea of a standard end time, so we can go past 2 hours like today, so that we can go as long as we want. And next week we're going to be changing the news format from games, TV, movies, tech, general, to everybody bringing their own pieces of news that they're passionate about throughout the week and starting the conversation themselves. That way, if someone joins in at the start, they won't miss a section at the end, and if someone joins in at the end, they won't miss a section at the start. So I guess that's everything. We're also planning on doing... Thank you, Ash.
Thank you very much.
We're also planning on doing a lot more live streams throughout the week. So board game night is one that's on the table and looks like it's going to happen. General game night might be happening. If there's any other suggestions for what you want to see us four do, and some of our friends probably along with us, like the peeps at the Forum Fred, who you should also check out, or Luke himself, who has his own streaming channel.
Strange, yes.
You can do that.
It should be. It's his Twitch channel and stuff syncs in, down the bottom.
So I think
really anything you're interested in, like the game even Kamal played, most of that's in the description below.
Yeah.
I think I updated on the times for everything.
Yes, board games. Yes.
Even I think we're talking about even doing a couple of spoiler casts or something.
For like the big things.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's everything. We don't stream on YouTube, no. I've been thinking about expanding to that, but I think we want to get our Twitch thing settled first, and then we might look at other stuff.
So far, the YouTube channel is only... It's just to archive our previous podcasts, because Twitch only holds them for like a couple of weeks. And we kind of don't want to lose that.
Zach won. Okay. I will message you our games list, Zach, and you can pick a game after the show.
Yeah.
Right. Are we done? Are we out?
Yeah. Ready.
Daniel?
Damn it.
Daniel, back at it again with the white vans. Damn.